YouTube? Welcome back to another hair tutorial, and today we got something a little bit different. We got more of a transformation type haircut that we're dealing with, as you can see by the canvas that is before me. What we're gonna do is gonna start off by combing out the hair. With this texture of hair, you're gonna make sure that you get everything directionalized the way you want it to be. So he wants, I believe it was what we did was a 1.5 with the grain, and you wanna make sure that you comb everything out from where the cowlick is at and make sure everything is laying down the way that the hair is supposed to lay down. So right here, you can see me attacking all this bulk with the 1.5 guard, my Barber's Gold magnetic guard that's still going strong. And when we get done knocking down a big portion of the bulk, you'll see that I've thrown that purple #1 guard with the lever open. And it's just because the 1.5 wasn't really doing, laying it down the way I wanted it to lay down. So I went over it with the 1 guard, lever open, and we're just attacking all that bulk and just making sure that everything lays down nice and smooth. So you can see the hairline right there. We got a bit of a challenge, a bit of a task before us, and trying to get that hairline back into place. But first off, we're gonna hit that nape tape. So I'm making my sad face shape to the taper so we could keep the edges, the lineup portion darker on the edges of the nape. And first we're gonna go ahead and take that lever open, make our first panel of hair. I balded it out with the Stylecraft Pro hitters, and then after that we're using the Babbler's clipper with the Tune 45 power clip attached to it. And after we make that first panel of the hair using the lever open, we're gonna go ahead and close that lever all the way and slightly open it and just start etching away at that line and raising that fade up. Now the next thing we're gonna do after the nail guard lever open, we're gonna go ahead and take that half guard lever open and make another panel of hair to fade up into. And you wanna make sure that you have a brush or a comb handy when you're doing this texture of haircut. Well, any texture in general, you wanna make sure that you're directionalizing the hair where it needs to lay down. That way you can evenly cut each and every strand of hair. And as you can see here, my client's hair is a little bit difficult because you could tell at the bottom right there, his hair is going off to the right. He's got some hair going down. He's got some hair going to the left. So that's why it's crucial to have a brush so you can constantly be brushing the hair and constantly going against the grain. As you can see right there, I took that 1 guard and I slightly turned my clipper, and that's to go the opposite direction of where the hair growth is going. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to little details like that. And we're just going to go ahead and continue to get this nape tape knocked out. Make sure that we brush, make sure that we are going against the grain, even cuts. Use those corners of the blade to make sure that you're attacking it the best way you can. And right now we got that 1.5 guard lever open, and we're just making another panel of hair to fade up into. And eventually this is going to go into, I think the highest guard I use is going to be a 2 open to go fade into that 1 guard with the grain lever open. So you can see here, I'm just etching away at it. We're just raising that fade up, not taking it too high, but making sure that we do have some gradiency in the taper to make sure that we have that transition, a smooth transition up into the bulk. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this particular client's hair on the nape side was very difficult to cut just because of the multiple directions that it decides to grow. So I'm making sure that I'm going against the grain, flipping my clipper left and right, using the center, using my corners, and just detailing little things that I see here and there, and making sure that I just stay consistent with the brushing, and if you just continually pay attention to the details with every haircut like that, you'll do a great job with every texture of hair. Now I have that 1 guard, and I started off with the lever open with the grain going down. Then after that, I closed it halfway with the grain and just like glided over the hair to make sure we get any of those strays, those flyaways knocked out. And as you can see right here, I'm reverting between the 1 guard and the 1.5 guard just to get those hairs knocked out, get everything crispy, get everything detailed. So right now we got the Gammas and are the Stylecraft Pro absolute hitters, and we're just knocking out that edge up. I highly suggest buying these trimmers. I've heard a lot of good things and negative things about it, but coming from me, I try to be the most transparent person, and these are some really good hitters, especially with this texture of hair. They do a great job and getting everything crispy and getting everything lined up. I love the T-wide blade that it has. And so right now we're gonna go ahead and do a high taper. So all that we're gonna be edging up is the front portion and the vertical bars. And I got the Babbler's lever open. I'm not taking it too high. I'm just barely, making a little panel of hair to fade up into. because I want this blend to be a little bit more compressed than I would usually do with most of my high tapers. Reason being, that was the client request, was not to take the taper too high. So I'm just trying to make sure that we compress that fade and compress that taper area to where, you know, we do have a blend, but it's not like a drastic gradiency to where it looks too bold. He does want to maintain a bit of darkness in that area of his taper. So right there, if you follow the color chart, you see I have the one guard on there, and I'm playing with the lever, and we're just knocking out little areas that are dark right there. I'm using the corners of my blade. I'm staying consistent with the brush, and we're just making sure that we cruise through this taper as smooth as possible. Now you could see already from the beginning of the video what you see, the before, the canvas I had, and you can see the haircut where it's at now. We are already drastically changing this man's life. So just, you know, stay tuned to the end of the video, and we're just gonna keep doing work with this haircut and just making this a beautiful masterpiece with the beard work. Even gonna do a little bit of design line work towards the end of the video. So just stay tuned, lock in, and just pay attention to, you know, the nuggets that I have to give y'all, you know, the knowledge that I have to spread. You know, it may not be a lot, but I know someone can use this and use this in the shop, and this could be beneficial. So right now I have that one guard lever open, and we're going with the grain and just making sure that everything is laid down, making sure that everything is consistent, making sure that all flows together, and just detailing here and there little things that we see, using the first like 2 to 3 corners of the blade, and just messing with that lever, playing with that lever, and making sure that everything is just copacetic. So after we do this portion right here, I will revert to my Style Pro absolute hitters. I want to go ahead and get that edged up around the ear. You know, it is pretty difficult if you're a barber and you've been cutting during this, you know, pandemic. You do understand, you know, the difficulty it is to cut around the ear with the mask and all that. And I don't know what state everybody is in. You know, drop a comment down below how the pandemic has affected, you know, your barbering, and what state you're in, and, you know, how are things going, you know. But here in Texas, you know, TDLR, which is the Texas Department of License and Regulation, they state that both the client and the operator have to wear a mask unless there's a beard service that is being performed, in which the client can take off the mask and we can perform that service, and then they have to put it right back on. So that's how things are going down here in Texas. I know that not everybody abides by it, but here in our shop, we make sure that we try to keep everybody as safe as possible. And you know, like I heard Basio say that he'd rather wear the mask and this whole thing, you know, not be as serious as it is, instead of not wearing the mask and it just be super serious. So, you know, just look out for your clients, look out for your people, look out for your families. But right here we have the Style Pros, and as you can see, we're edging up around the ear like we did on the opposite side. This side is super sped up because it's the same exact steps as we did on this side of the hair. But now we're gonna attack that beard work. Got my man's mask off, and he wants to try to keep as much bulk as possible with his beard. So, you know, we are gonna fade down near the sideburn area and make sure that we get that smooth transition from his high taper into the beard. So just like you would do fading up, that's what we're gonna do fading down. He's gonna open the lever, close it slightly, erase that panel of hair, open the lever with the half guard, close the lever, open it slightly, erase that panel of hair, and just work your way down. It's not, you know, a difficult concept to understand if you see it in the aspect that you're mirroring everything you did with the taper, but the opposite direction. Now you can see that I have the comb right there, and I'm making sure that I brush all the hair out. I'm making sure that I'm combing it down the way it's gonna lay, you know, towards the end of the haircut. And I'm going with the grain here just to make sure that we maintain some bulk, but we knock down little flyaways that are just chilling, hanging out, and ruining the flow of the haircut. But I appreciate everybody for clicking on this video and locking in and staying tuned. And, you know, I apologize for not dropping a tutorial in a good minute, but I hope you guys have been enjoying the vlogs. That has been something that's been enjoyable to make, just to let you guys inside my day-to-day life and my day-to-day operations in the shop. But as you can see here, we're edging up the back portion of the beard. And next we're gonna attack that jawline and make sure that we get everything straight and make sure we get everything precise. make sure that you're paying attention to every little detail. Make sure that you're finding reference points to mirror your haircut on the opposite side. You want to make sure that you're maintaining symmetry, and just continually do what you do best in the shop, and just continue to grow, add different techniques to your arsenal, and just try to get as many clients as you can. That's the goal in this game. That's the goal on our field of expertise. But right here, we're knocking out that mustache, getting it nice and crispy too. He doesn't like it too thick of a beard, but doesn't want too thin of a beard. So we gotta make sure that we are paying attention to what our clients want. I say, you know, the client consultation is a very crucial part of your service. So make sure that you and your client are having some dialogue about what you are doing with their hair. So now I laid some hair spritz. Excuse me. I'm laying some hair spritz down and brushing out the hair, brushing all the hair forward the way it's gonna lay, and we're just gonna knock out that hairline and see if we can get this hairline revived and into a crispy, precise edge up. I always start my edge ups at the center of the haircut, and then I work, I make another line on the corner, and then try to bridge those two areas together, and then we attack the vertical bars right after that. So you can see here, my reference point on this portion of the haircut is going to be, you know, how far off the side of the corner of his eye that vertical bar is laying. You want to make an imaginary line all the way down to see where, you know, that edge up is at, where the vertical bar is at, where it's, you know, where it's meeting at the corner of the eye as a reference point. And you can use that reference point on the opposite side and do the same thing with the opposite vertical bar, so you could maintain that symmetry. Now this side of the beard, we sped up, and as you can see there, I'm using a mister, and that mister, all it is got some oil in it, some hair lotion and water, and we're just making sure that we saturate that hair, and it just makes it a lot easier to maneuver that hair and manipulate where we're gonna lay it, how it's gonna lay, and it makes it so much easier to comb through or pick out or whatever type of tool you're using to get that hair brushed out. But it does wonders. It literally costs like 12 bucks, so that's just something that you could just add to your arsenal that is, you know, not too expensive. You know, everybody I feel like could fork out 12 bucks. So, you know, add that to your arsenal. I don't know how many times I pull that thing out and I'll use that on the beard, and clients are like, oh, what is that? You know, and, you know, they freak out on what type of tools you got next. And, you know, just those little things like that, it shows people that you are investing in your services, in your craft, that you take this seriously. And it doesn't, you know, when you do those things and clients recognize that, they have no problem, you know, throwing you a tip that, you know, you weren't expecting. They have no problem paying the prices that you have, you know. So just make sure that you're doing those little things and just trying to get people to see how much you take your craft seriously. So now we're edging up with the 245 triple cartridge razor, and we're just making sure that we get all this stuff nice and crispy before we lay down our color enhancement. And we are going to use color enhancement on this beard, on the hairline, and just get it super crispy for the video. I always do it regardless. For this client, I always do the color enhancement and all that stuff, regardless if it's for a YouTube video or not. But it's just another learning tool that we could throw into this this hair tutorial. Now you can see here, we're stretching the skin, and we're pulling the opposite direction of where we are shaving the haircut or shaving the edge up, and just making sure that it's super crispy. Taking your time, making sure that you're super detailed, and it's all coming together right now. You can see from the beginning to right now, you know, it's been a drastic change. You know, his haircut is looking super fire right now, but you know, we're not even done with the service yet. So right here, you want to make sure, like I said, paying attention to the details, stretching that skin. And for this client specifically, I do dry shave because he is able to take it without a lot of irritation. So that is a cool thing, because you know, I feel like you get a crispier edge up when you are dry shaving. But now I'm using a lip lining pencil that I got at Walmart. It's the white lip lining pencil, and this is what I'm going to use as a barrier for my color enhancement. So all my color enhancement is going to go on the opposite end. So we're gonna whip out that 245 Seancutshair Color Card, the Get Beam Beam Team XL compressor. And we're just gonna go ahead and use that black brown no drip color that 245 has, and we're just laying it down nice and smooth, make sure that you're not overdoing the color enhancement. And I overshot right there, and I just kind of wiped it in and faded it in with the rest of the hair. You can't do that, but you have to make sure you get that quick, because this stuff does dry extremely fast. So you want to make sure that you are laying it down properly and not overspraying. You know, just I say with color enhancement, the less the better. You want to make sure that you're just trying to keep a natural looking appearance. You know, you don't want it to look super cosmetic. So you know what, natural looking, you know, color enhancement is the best. You know, there's a lot of barbers out there that, you know, may disagree with me, but personally, I don't like it to look too fabricated. But right here, we're laying it down on the left side just like we did the right side, and just making sure that we just stay symmetrical with everything. Every step of the haircut, you want to maintain that symmetry. Now I have now we're edging it up with the razor, and just making sure that everything's crispy. That lip lining pencil that you've seen, we're just edging that up against the color enhancement that we laid down, and it's gonna just make that hairline pop even like more than it already is. That lip lining pencil acts as a highlighter basically to the edge up, just like a female would use, you know, for their makeup, how they would highlight certain attributes with their face, like cheekbones or, you know, brow lines. Basically, with that lip lining pencil is just highlighting our edge up for our client and just making that edge up pop even more than it already is. And as you can see here, the taper is looking blurry. The edge up is crispy, super precise. You know, we're paying attention to every detail, making sure that everything is crisp. You know, just the haircut is just coming along great. And I really look forward to cutting this client every time, because every time he comes in to get a haircut, it's like, you know, every other month, you know, he comes and visits Amarillo, and it's always nice to just take care of this client and just transform, you know, his image. And it's just crazy what you could do with a pair of clippers and a razor, and how you can, you know, boost people's confidence. And every time he gets out the chair, I swear, it's just like a major boost of confidence. But this was my favorite shot of the video. You could see the crispiness of the edge up. You could see the blend. You could see the enhancement is not overly done. It's nice and natural. And I just really enjoy how this haircut came out. But I really appreciate everybody clicking on this video, everybody checking out the haircut. Once again, I do apologize for not kicking out more tutorials, but we are back in the game. We're gonna be dishing out more tutorials. I got more videos to come, so stay tuned, stay locked in. We just surpassed 1,600 subscribers. We're already at 1,620, I believe. So stay on the lookout. At 2K, I will be doing a 245 Power Mat giveaway, and then we'll see where the channel goes from there. But right here is where we're doing that design work, that little bit of line work. So we're gonna lay down 3 lines and just make them super crisp. So I just knock out some lines first as a rough draft, and then once I see how it's looking, I go over it and just detail the lines, make them a little bit thicker, make them a little bit sharper. And then of course you want to make sure that you're going over it with a razor as well, and making sure those lines are super crisp. And the reason why I did the taper not so high as well is so that we can make sure that we see these lines pop. Because the bottom portion of his hair, you know, it's not as thick as the you know, some parts of the hair. So you want to make sure that we have something to have the design pop. You know, you don't want to have like very little hair and not really see these 3 lines pop. Now once we go over it with the triple cartridge razor, I will throw a little bit of the black brown no drip 245 color enhancement, and just make those lines pop even more, make them look super crisp, and just darken up those areas around the line work that we did. So I really hope you guys learned something from this video. If you did, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this haircut. Let me know what you think of the transformation. I appreciate everybody who is subscribed to the channel. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. It really helps out the algorithm for the channel. It lets YouTube know that people are finding this content useful. So smash that like button. Let's get some more content out there. But there is the end product. Super crispy, super blurry taper. You can see the drastic transformation from, you know, what we started with. But like I said, once again, thank you guys for locking in. And if you made it through this 20-minute video, shout out to you, because this was a long one. But I just wanted to make sure I get all this information out there. But once again, Thank you for everything. Thank you for your subscribing. Follow me on IG @jblends_. And until next time, God bless.